Charie, now fully transformed into half human and half demon creature, snared at Amanda, his voice echoing with rage. You think you can escape me? You will never be free. Once upon a time in the city of Port Harcourt, there lived a beautiful girl named Amanda. Amanda was done with high school and was to leave for the university. On arrival at the university, Amanda stood in the front of the grand gate of the university, her heart tugging in her chest. The campus stretched before her like a vast new world full of promise and admittedly a bit of fear. As a first-year student, she was about to dive into the wide wind of college life, something she had only imagined during late-night chats with her high school friends. The first few days were a blur of orientation, campus tour, and trying to remember the names of people in her dorm. Amanda's room was on the third floor of the Salvation Hostel, with a view of the campus shed. She shared the space with Emily, a pre-med student who had already plastered her side of the room with anatomy posters and a detailed study schedule. Emily, with her bright energy, was the opposite of Amanda's quiet and introverted nature, but they balanced each other out. Emily pushed Amanda to attend the freshman mixer, which Amanda had initially dreaded but ended up enjoying. She met new people, laughed over awkward icebreakers, and even signed up for the campus book club, something she never thought she could do. As weeks passed, Amanda started to fall into rhymes. Morning were for classes, afternoon for study sections at the library, and evening for occasional social events. She loved walking through the campus, feeling the mist of history and youth in the air. Midway through the semester, Amanda met another group of students. They seemed carefree and fun, always the life of the party. Hannah, one of the group members, quickly befriended Amanda. She was wild, rebellious, and always knew where the hottest parties were happening on campus. Amanda, who has always been the cautious, responsible type, found herself drawn to this new energy. Before she knew it, Amanda was spending less time at the library and more time at late-night parties. Alcohol flowed freely, and the air was thick with the smell of smoke. At first, Amanda just went along for the company, but soon she was drinking and smoking too. Caught up in the reckless abandon of the moment, she started skipping classes, something she had sworn she would never do, and her grades began to slip. One night at a particular wild party, Amanda found herself sitting on the couch next to a tall, good-looking guy named Marcus. He was older, clearly not a student. Hannah introduced them, and soon, Marcus was offering Amanda something more than just a drink. He wanted a relationship, which Amanda wasn't interested. Hannah started talking about easy money and how she could make a lot of money and still have fun on the side. At first, Amanda laughed it off as their friendship got tighter. Thanks to all the partying and expensive lifestyle, she had fallen into Hannah's proposition. It began to sound more tempting. It started with small gifts, letting few guys get her expensive gifts, then dates that involves cash being slipped into her hands at the end of the night. Hannah convinced her it was just easy money, and Amanda, now dipped in the wide wind of campus nightlife, didn't see the harm. Due to her beauty, men often drawn to her. She met different men who lavished money and gifts on her. Because of her expensive outlook, she became popular as she participated in departmental and faculty pageantries. Then one fateful evening, Amanda met a man named Mr. Osiri. He was different from the others, calm, quiet, and strange. He dressed in an immaculate black agbada with elaborate embroidery. There was something unsettling about him, but Amanda brushed it off. He offered her a huge sum of money that made her eyes widen in disbelief. All she had to do was to meet him at his private residence outskirts of town. When Amanda arrived at his mansion, it was as though she had stepped into another world. The house was surrounded with forests, and the air seemed unnaturally still. As she entered, the wind hollowed and the door slammed shut behind her with a thunderous bang. The house was eagerly quiet, with walls adorned with strange symbols and ancient art crafts. "Welcome, Amanda," Mr. Osiri said, in a voice that sent chill down her spine. He motioned for her to sit across from him, As she did, Mr. Osiri began to ask questions about her life, her family, and her deepest fears. His voice was smooth, and Amanda found herself answering without hesitations. She felt her mind slipping as though she was no longer in control. Suddenly, Mr. Osiri stood up, his eyes glowing a strange red. He chanted something under his breath, and the room darkened. Amanda's heart raced as she watched in horror as the symbols on the wall began to glow. "Now you will be mine," Mr. Osiri said. His voice deepened into something monstrous. His hand began to shift, elongating, his skin turning a silky green. His hands grew claws, and his eyes turned completely black. Amanda, scared, screamed, but no sound came out. She was trapped, and her body frozen in place. Just as Mr. Osiri was about to complete his ritual, Amanda remembered something her grandmom had once told her. Never forget to pray no matter where you are. With all the strength she could muster, Amanda whispered the prayer under her breath, calling upon the divine protection. Immediately, the pendant that her grandmother gave her began to glow with a brilliant light. The light grew brighter and brighter until it engulfed the entire room. Mr. Osiri let out a blood-curdling scream as he was forced back by the holy energy radiating from the pendant. The room shook violently as the walls cracked and the symbols faded away. Mr. Osiri, now fully transformed into half-human and half-demon creature, sneered at Amanda, his voice echoing with rage. "You think you can escape me? You will never be free." With one final outburst of light, Mr. Osiri flying across the room, Amanda felt her body release from its frozen state. She bolted for the door, her heart pounding in her chest. She ran through the mansion, hearing his monstrous roar behind her as the house crumbled around her. She stumbled through the forest branches, scratching her skin as she raced towards the main road. The moment she stepped out of the woods, the mansion behind her vanished as though it had never been there, leaving nothing but an empty clearing. After that night, Amanda changed. She cut styles with Marcus, Hannah, and the rest of the group, disappearing from the nightlight scene. She poured herself into studies, spending more time in the library or in her dorm. The experience had left her shaken, but she was grateful to be alive. Though Amanda never told anyone the full story, she kept the pendant at all times, never forgot to pray, and always engaged in the things of God. And she became the SU president.